Okay, well, it's amazing how quickly these things go. Over the last 15 minutes, and there's more questions coming through. Something I'm interested in is your view, but let's start with a story. So back in the 90s, when the internet was just kicking off, there was this chap that came along and he thought, where can I go and put a new product or a service that's going to benefit from the internet? And he was looking at it saying, there is a growth of 2,500% per year in terms of the number of users. Still the Wild West, but I've got to get on to this train. I've just got to think of something that's going to work on it. And that was the starting thought process for Amazon. Okay, what services or products can I put on this hyper growth, exponential growth technology rollout? Do you think we're seeing a similar thing here with various technologies? I just use Ethereum, for example, in terms of what they're offering. You're already seeing these hyper growth adoptions going through, because from my perspective, I'm not seeing it landing in the retail stores and on the foot soldiers, the communities that are out there yet, which doesn't mean it's not happening. But are you seeing this kind of trend, really getting momentum behind it? Do you think this is the new internet in many ways?
100%. And also, with your permission, I want to explain that the internet has evolved. It's evolving. So the internet web 1.0 was really text, videos, voice, not the internet of value. The internet of value came later. But then the internet developed into Web 2.0, which is when all these FANG, the Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, Google, started centralizing. And then they offer you products for free. You thought it was for free, but you actually became the product because they were selling the data of all the information you were sharing for free. So that became also unacceptable to the people that created the internet, and that's why open source is the way to go. And now we are building Web 3.0. What is Web 3.0? Decentralized, peer-to-peer. You will share information. You will have it's called self-sovereign identity. You will have your own cloud with your own ID, record of ownership of whatever assets you have. You will have your own pictures, your own health information under your control, and you will share it with whom you want to share it directly, not via Google, via Facebook, via whatever. And that is how the decentralization starts becoming a reality. And then when you're ready, I would love to tell you about decentralized finance, because that is what we're building, and that's going to be a game changer for the world.
So let's go into that, because I mean, this from a skeptic's perspective, it's all very technical and may or may not mushroom into something. From my perspective, it still feels like we're trying to understand how it works as an end user, and end users don't understand how the internet works. And end users of banks don't understand how the financial system works, and the multiple payments that are going through, and the infrastructure providers, incredibly complex. But what we have is a really simple product. I can walk in and I can do a QR code and it's a snap scan, and something magically happens in the background. I walk out with my products. Same with Amazon Go. You walk in, don't know how it works, doesn't matter. You walk out because you trust it, and it's giving you some utility that you're actually enjoying. When are we going to start, or is it already started? I guess I'm just not looking on the right websites where people are really going to start to trust what you're exploring, and the utility is obvious because I can just walk out, do something. It's frictionless. I've made my payment. I've done my investment. I've taken my loan. I've had my supply chain agreement put in place where through escrow something's happening and something's been delivered. It still feels a long way away from that, like a Wild West where there are so many choices. There are no trustworthy brands that I can go out and start using already in every level.
Just remember, we are in the same place where when the internet was started, 1994, 1995, as I said, no trust. Everybody was like, oh my God, what is this? It is evil, blah, blah, blah. And, a lot of people attack it. There were laws being tried to pass to protect people from the internet, like really crazy stuff. That's where we are, number one. Number two, this technology was created by techies. So of course they're going to talk techie talk. But the truth be told, like you correctly say, you use the internet and you don't care that the internet is built on this technology called TCP/IP. The techies want to know. Well, I don't care. I know how to use the internet. And therefore, the same is going to happen to blockchain. That's why when I do presentations, I never really go into the detail how the blocks get created, how the cryptography works, because that's noise. But once you understand the bigger picture of what Satoshi wanted to create, which is this single version of the truth, where nobody can cheat or lie, then you start saying, oh, wow. Then when you have a lot of parties in a transaction, this is a no-brainer. You bring them all in the same ledger in the internet. They all can see the journal entries at the same time, and we can achieve things real time. The audit is real time. The verification is controlled by a cryptography. The actions is controlled by smart contracts. So the trust is in the computer. And then you take it to the next level, which we are building, which is DeFi, Decentralized Finance, which for me, it's every day I start screaming. I start screaming because I said, I can't believe they built this. What is DeFi? DeFi is a smart contract in the internet. You go into, let's say, a website called Aave, A-A-V-E, and you need a loan. There's no office building, there's no shareholders, there's no board of directors, there's no filing cabinet, there's nothing behind it. It's just a program. And if you trust that the program is secure, that's why we audit the smart contracts at Consensus. We have a division that does audit the smart contract. If you trust the smart contract, you will apply for a loan and you will get a loan real time. And there's no bias. You know, when you go to a bank, they look at you, they ask you for lots of questions. It's been proven that there's bias about your gender, your color, your race, all that nonsense. The computer is not biased. The computer will give you the loan based on other data, and therefore you can get a loan, repay it, because the smart contract will ensure that you repay. And the data gets accumulated for the benefit of everybody. The data, I don't know if you know this, Colin, but you know that the stock exchange makes more income out of selling data than many of the other functions. Why? Because there's a time delay in releasing the data. The data gets given to those that pay for it. In this world of cryptocurrency trading, everything is known real time in any website. And therefore, there's no more monetizing selling the data because the data is free. So do you understand how everything is changing? And DeFi is not just loans. We're talking about market making. We're talking about derivative trading. We're talking about insurance. Insurance, I always say, how could it be that insurance companies are not embracing this technology? Think about it. What's an insurance policy? An insurance policy says, if you die, these people get paid. That's a smart contract. If I do this, therefore that. So imagine in the future, for those insurance companies that want to embrace this, they will say, come to me, because I will guarantee that I will pay you real time if that insurable event took place. I have been presenting to insurance companies now for the last 2 years. Nobody has embraced this. Why? Because they don't want to give up the legacy. But eventually, new insurance companies will come about in a DeFi world, and therefore the traditional insurance companies are going to lose the clients. And that's how slowly, this is like the story of the frog. You put the frog in water and you put the hot water. We're still in the lukewarm moments, and that's why you're not seeing that the frog is being boiled.